Hi everybody, how you doing? I am Johann. That over there in Eastern Canada is Mr. Charleston Hughes.
Ooh, this is gonna be a good show right here.
Yeah, we got one of my more exciting shows. One of the shows I've been really excited for a while, and why? Obviously, you can see my natural heritage coming out with this nice sombrero. We are got a show that is going to excite tequila people because we have one of the best tequilas in the world. We're going to be talking about here Fortaleza Tequila, and we're going to be talking with Kobe from the town of Tequila, who works
Tequila?
Yeah, Chuck, there's a town called Tequila in Mexico. Kobe, how you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on the show.
Anytime. Welcome to Canada. Welcome to the U.S. We're very excited to have you on the show because Fortaleza has just landed in Canada a few months ago in Saskatchewan. As you can see, I couldn't even wait. I already had to have a few shots. I couldn't wait for the show. I had to be able to try this fantastic tequila. I was
you took some shots before coming on the show?
Well, of course, man. You got a product sample, right? You got to be able to try this. Charleston, as soon as you get the bottle in Ontario, you're going to want to try it too. But this is one of the most exciting brands. I've been waiting for a while to be able to get this here in Canada. Now it's here. We'll talk about that later on. But Kobe, how are you doing today?
I'm very good. It's a bit cloudy here in the town of Tequila, but it's still t-shirt weather, so we're okay. We're perfect.
Yeah, Chuck.
I'm about to say it must be nice. I'm looking at your background right now, and what people call vacation, you call home. So it's like, what the hell? You get to look at that view.
This is my daily office. This is my daily office. I cannot help it. Sorry.
I'm envious right there, Kobe. So what are we gonna do today? Because I know Charleston doesn't know a lot about tequila. He knows how to drink it. He knows how to order it. He knows how to pay for it. He doesn't know how it is made or anything.
If I have too much, I know how to puke it all
up. That's because you had the wrong one.
There you go. And that's one of the things we want to educate our viewers, our fans, our friends here in Canada, because for many years it's been a common misconception that tequila tastes bad. You have that tequila when you get it at the bar, and you kind of it makes you shiver, right? And it gives you the win, and you got to have a lime chaser. Well, as I've grown older, I've gotten to be able to sample some tequilas, and one of them that I've really enjoyed, obviously, is Fortaleza. And we want to be able to kind of break that myth that tequila tastes bad. So what are you going to be able to tell us today, Kobe?
So we got my colleague Stefano on another line. He's going to come on soon, and we're going to take a distillery tour. So go through the whole process of making tequila, see how everything is done. It's the very old school way. It's definitely not one of the big boys like probably in Canada, the ones that sell the most. The building that you see right there, that is our distillery. That is it. There's no more to it. Last year, we produced about 300,000 liters in a whole year. Just to give you an idea, Jose Cuervo does about 250,000 liters every single day. So that's where the difference lies. We have a small estate here. Well, my boss has a small estate here. We have some agaves on there. So you see right there, those are the agaves. And the only agave you can use for tequila is called the blue agave. And you actually have a nice contrast, what you see right there. The plants in the back, that's green. And then the plants in the front, that's bluish. Now, so that's the blue agave.
With that, Kobe, I want to ask you a question, because I know this is key. Why blue agave? Because blue agave is very key to people if they're going to be buying tequila. They have to look at the label and understand that 100% blue agave makes a difference, correct?
Correct. So the only agave you can use for tequila, be it a mixto or 100% agave, is the blue agave. You cannot use any other agaves. There is officially 252 different agaves on Mexican soil. Mezcal, for example, they can use any agave they want to. In general, that is about 50 different sorts of agave. For tequila, it's only the blue agave, what you see right here. And the blue agave has been selected years and years ago to be that designated agave because it is, relatively speaking, the fastest one to grow into maturity. And it has the most sugar content, so you can make the most alcohol out of it. Um, I said, relatively speaking, the fastest to grow because these plants will still take 6 to 9 years to grow for one plant to reach
6 to
maturity.
9 years
And you
to
need,
grow.
exactly. So imagine how much land you need to make enough tequila in the long run. You cannot just harvest everything and then wait another 7 years and make tequila again. So you need to have a good land management to actually have that happening. So what we actually do, we also have. So this plant is from June 2016. So you can see this is a 5-year-old plant. It's not ready yet. In a year, 2 years, it's going to be ready. What we then actually do is we cut off all those leaves, those spiky leaves you see. We cut those off. And what we are left over with is what we call the piña. And the piña is, it looks like a big pineapple. That's where the name comes from. And that is the base material for making tequila, making mezcal, making any agave spirit you can find all over the world. So that piña, we're going to bring that into our distillery. So here you have a nice view of our distillery. If you are ever in Tequila or in Guadalajara, please come down. Please come and visit us because we're not the only distillery that is here. There's 27 distilleries in the little town of Tequila that has 50,000 people. So there's plenty to visit, plenty to see. All of them a bit different. So definitely come down, and we'll happily get you a tour.
Kobe, I just want to, 27 distilleries in a town of 50,000.
Yeah.
Is anybody ever sober? There's got to be lots of siestas there.
It's like the whole
there is a
town is
reason
ran
why I
by
don't.
agave plant.
Yeah.
Basically, it is. There's a reason why I live in Guadalajara, which is the big city about an hour from here, and not in Tequila, because the only thing you do here in Tequila is work and drink. And at some point, that is not good for your liver. So we had to get out of that. So what you see right in front of us right there, those are actually the piñas and a bit of the workers. We are at 102 workers right now at our distillery. A few years ago, we started with 15, so we're growing big time. So this is the piña, basically. This is what we need to make tequila from. You can see where the leaves have been cut off, and they have been cut in half as well to make it easier to stack into our oven. Yes, indeed, an oven. So basically, this is the raw material. This needs to be cooked. What you do when you cook it is you turn all the starches in that into sugars. And as you probably know, you need sugars to be able to make alcohol. That's the first step. So these are nice, green, whitish, and we use wheelbarrows to bring it all down. We don't have any conveyor belts, nothing like that. I call it Mexican CrossFit. So those people, they work very, very hard to fill up an oven. Just to give you an idea, we have 2 ovens. One of them is 15 tons of agave that fits in, and the other one is 28 tons of agave that fits in. They fill these up in the matter of hours, couple of hours, and those are filled up. These guys are really good at Tetris.
Holy, that's a lot of work.
A lot of work, indeed. Seems like the image is a bit. If there's any problems with the internet, we are still in Tequila. There we go. So this is cooked agave, as you can see, and now there are a rusty brown color, and that means that all the starches have been turned into sugar. So, and that is what we need. We need that sugar to be able to start what we call a fermentation. But of course, these agaves are way too big to start fermentation. So we would actually have to crush it first, make sure that all the juice comes out.
You have to crush it?
See, that's one of our oven.
Okay.
We have to crush it. Now, a lot of people, they crush it. So first we use this. This is like a shredder, basically like a wood chipper.
Yep.
We put the agaves in there and make sure that they turn into fibers, a bit looser. And those fibers, they go in our tahona pit. Now, a lot of distilleries, they don't use a tahona because this is the old school way of doing it, which means it takes a lot of time and effort to do this. But we still use it because it gives us the best flavor. So you see this big pit. We can put 3 tons of agave in there at a time in those fibers as you see them right there. And then we have this big milling stone. This is 2.5 tons worth of volcanic rock attached to a beam. And on that beam, we will put on our. It used to be a donkey. Now we have an electric donkey. So an electric tractor that we put on it. And we pull that stone around for about 4 hours. So we crush all those fibers. We make sure that all the juice gets out of those fibers. That's our electric donkey right there.
Nice.
So you guys, it's slow NASCAR, basically. So it's a left-hand turn for 4 hours, slowly.
There's your donkey.
That's the donkey's head right there. So we crush all the agaves. We make sure that all the juice comes out. And when that is done, we retire the electric donkey again. We put it on the side and we add water to it. And as you can see, the water will act like, it's like making tea, basically. So you take a pitchfork, you turn those fibers around in the water, make sure that all the sugar and all the flavor stays in the water, just like a tea bag that you put up and down in your hot water.
Yeah.
We do exactly the same, but with fibers and cold water. We make sure the sugar stays in the water. We put the fibers up, let them drip down, and let them seep out all the sugar into that water.
And how long does of process does that take?
So the whole process in the Tahona takes about 8 hours.
8 hours. Okay.
And that includes
Oh, wow.
4 hours of milling and then 2 times of washing.
Okay.
So we wash the fibers, we put them up. When all that is done, we take that water out through a little gateway. You see that ditch over there. The water goes through there, gets filtered.
Yeah.
So there's no more fibers in the water. Then we close that hatch back down. We put the fibers back down, put more water in it, and we wash them a second time. So that whole process is 8 hours. I told you, it's Mexican CrossFit. Those people, if you shake their hands, their forearms, they're huge forearms. So they keep on going, and they build them muscle for sure. So that is what we need. That is sugar water, basically. It's agave sugar
That puts
and water.
into perspective
and,
the amount of work that goes into this.
Right? So you see a bit of the fibers that are there that are filtered out. So we have the pure sugar water that is right there. And now we go into fermentation. Now fermentation is easy said. Fermentation, you have yeast. Yeast is like a tiny little animal that eats sugar and poops out alcohol. That's the basics of it. So that happens in those pipones, as we call them. Those are 6,000 liters.
Hola, amigos.
We pump in all that. That sugar water. We add the yeast to it, which is our proprietary yeast, and it starts to react. Now you're going to see Stefano's going to get up on those ladders. You're going to see a lot of foam happening, a lot of that yeast that is working, because side effects of it being made alcohol, there's no fermentation going on right now. So side effects of that alcohol being created is you have CO2 that is being created, and you also have heat that is being created. That is why we have wooden tanks, so that heat doesn't affect too much. But you would normally have a lot of that foam in that pipon, and that means that it's working. Now, this happens for about 2 to 3 days. So 2 to 3 days, and then all the sugar is turned into alcohol, and we end up at a very basic beer that is at about 4.5% of alcohol.
Oh, wow.
You got any questions so far on this? Just so we are clear on this part.
No, it's clear so far. That's yeah. That's an interesting process to be able to get all the way to here.
How long does that fermentation process take? You said just a couple hours?
2 days.
2 to 3 days.
Okay, yeah.
So it starts, it's going to foam very much. And by the end, the foam is going to be very low. It's just going to react a little bit more, some bubbles coming out. But you will see that it's basically not happening anymore. And we call that mosto muerto. So it's dead most. That's dead because it doesn't react that much anymore.
Oh, yeah, there's a little...
You see a little bit there?
Yeah.
So that foam is because it's working still.
Okay.
Right? So when we are at 4.5% of alcohol, then we actually can make tequila, because now we have a basic agave beer. It's okay to drink. I wouldn't recommend you drinking a few glasses of it because that will hurt your tummy. But right now we got to distill it and make sure that we actually make tequila. So to make tequila, you have to distill at least 2 times. And distilling happens in our stills that are just a bit down the road there. Those are all new because we used to have the original stills, because this building is from 1903. And the stills that we had were still the original ones. But because we have been ramping up production, they got a bit worn out and we had to change them out. So now we have new stills. First one is 700 liters. Second one is 500 liters. Third one is 700 liters again.
Kobe,
this is small. If you ever...
Kobe, can you ask those workers if they know where Canada is? Have they? Have they been to Canada?
I think they do. Canada is pretty big.
Have they been to Canada?
We have some people.
Any Canadian lovers?
That's a different story.
Thumbs up or down? You guys like Canada? Canada's good, not too bad.
Like, nah, no Canada.
No, he's never been to Canada.
I don't think they've ever been.
Okay,
there's a lot of people here in the town of Tequila that didn't even leave the state of Jalisco.
Oh, wow.
They don't know what Mexico City is. They don't know what. So it's very local culture that is happening right here.
Okay.
So, the old stills, we had to take them out because they were worn out, and we had to replace them with new stills. Now the two ones that's 700 liters, those are the ones that we use for the first distillation, because tequila needs to do 2 distillations before it can be named tequila. Then tequila is made in this one right here, the 500 liter one. You can see it's steaming up a bit. Now, I assume I need to explain how distillation works a bit. Let's try it in the simplest way possible. So we have our Mosto Muerto, which is about 4.5% of alcohol. We pump that in still. And in that still, there's a copper coil that we will fill up with steam. And that steam will actually heat up your Mosto Muerto. And the boiling point of water at sea level, at least, is 100 degrees Celsius. You guys do Celsius, right? You're not like your
American
southern neighbors that do Fahrenheit. Okay, perfect.
I do Fahrenheit.
So water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, but alcohol boils at approximately 73% degrees Celsius. So if you heat, the first thing that will heat up is the alcohol itself, and that will evaporate. It will evaporate, go up to those tubes, and on the other side of that wall, there's a big tank with cold water and another coil, and that steam, that vapor, pushed through that coil and will liquefy again into a juice. And that juice comes out right here through that tube that you see, going into that metal tank, right? So the first thing that comes out is pure alcohols. Those are not good. Those are methanols. If you drink methanol, those are the stories you hear from Russia, India, China, Africa, where they distill their own juice and they don't take those methanols out and they go blind, they pass out or whatever. It's toxic. It's not good. So you take that out. That's about 5 liters for us, of 5 to 10 liters. We take that out. And what then comes next, because you heat up more, you have waters, essential oils, esters, and so on that will heat up as well, that will get into that vapor as well. So you get less alcohol, and that will be the alcohol that we preserve. And that will be, the first pass will be Ordinario. Ordinario is the first pass of tequila. And then that is about 19% of alcohol for us. We put that in the middle still. We do that again, and we arrive to 46% of alcohol. Doing exactly the same thing, but now we have more alcohol to play with. So 46% of alcohol is our still strength tequila. We do bottle that. We have that on the market. It's a bit more potent than the normal line that we have at 40%, but it's oh so good. So,
could you tell the taste?
And it has to be 40% or better.
No, to be named tequila by Mexican rules, you need to be between 35 and 55% of alcohol. Now, to export into the United States, for example, it needs to be 40% minimum. So that is why in Mexico you can find tequilas that are 38%, 36%. In the United States, everything will be 40% or higher.
And is the taste difference quite a bit different in, say, the tequilas that are 46% different?
Yeah, so the difference is 6 points of alcohol. It's 40 to 46, and there's a big difference in that. Just remember, the only thing that we add is water, 11% of demineralized water. That's the only difference that we have, and there's a big difference in that.
Okay.
It is crazy to taste those.
Can we get that sent to us here in Canada? Because
Right.
we love a higher percent of alcohol. That's the one thing you have here in Canada. I mean, we have lots of beer drinkers, but we always go for one of the questions everybody asks is, give me the most alcohol. Give me the beer with like 6, 7, 8% alcohol. Everybody wants to test it, but is that available to be able to?
You got to battle the cold in one way, no?
Yeah.
You got to battle the cold in one way. But we do have I think there's 2 containers right now on route to Canada, and I do think there's still strength on there. So you should be able to get that for sure.
Good.
So you saw those little stills, those original ones from the distillery, but we had to retire them. They were just not working anymore. We had too much loss on them. So Brewer is not finished because we don't only have Blanco. We also have Reposado and Anejo.
And can you
now,
tell?
Reposado is.
Yeah, sorry, Colby. Can you tell Charleston and everybody what is the difference between a Blanco, a Reposado, and an Enejo?
So a Blanco is aged up to 2 months. That is a pure rule. There are very little brands that actually age their Blanco. A Blanco is white, has not seen any wood, has not been aged at all. But up to 2 months is legal. A Reposado is a minimum of 2 months aged. So you put it in oak barrels. It doesn't matter where that oak is from, but it has to be oak. And Reposado, it can be in barrels that are as huge as you want them to be. If you want to do it in 6,000 liter vats, you can do that. And then we use ex-bourbon barrels. And then the Añejo is a minimum of 1 year. And the maximum of that barrel is 450 liters for Añejo. So we use ex-bourbon barrels no matter what. As you can see right here, those are all ex-bourbon barrels. We have barrels from Buffalo Trace, Heaven Hill, Four Roses, Jim Beam. You name it of the big boys, we probably have it. Because it's easy to get. In bourbon, you can only use a barrel once. So every time you make bourbon, it needs to be in a virgin barrel that has never been used before. So imagine how many barrels Jim Beam alone puts on the market every year.
Yeah.
And the tequila industry as a whole is like, we'll take it. It's cheap. We'll get it. See, this is Four Roses.
Four Roses, yeah.
The other one was Buffalo Trace. So all of those big brands, they put on so many barrels per year on the market, and we'll just buy them off of them, and we'll use them until they're spent.
Fantastic.
Oh, wow.
So for us, Reposado is 6 months.
Bourbon.
Say that.
Yeah, when you use
because when we get
bourbon, stuff like that, how does it change the flavor of what tequila?
No, not with us. Because when we get them, we actually chip the inside of the barrel. So we shave away all that bourbon flavor and we burn them again. So when we burn them, we create our own flavor profile. And in that way, we unify those different barrels from different bourbon houses.
Oh.
So it doesn't matter where it comes from.
Okay.
So they give us the same flavor. And also, we rarely do single barrel stuff. So when we empty 15 barrels, we put all those 15 barrels together in one stainless steel tank, and it gets together. Of course, not every Reposado will be the same. Sometimes a barrel will give you more color, more caramel flavor, and so on, and another barrel will not do that so on the back of our bottle, there's a lot number, and that lot number is for us very important.
I have lot number.
What's your lot number that you have right there?
83R. We can.
R is for Reposados, so that has nothing to do with any other batch. So you have the B for Blanco, R for Reposado,
Okay.
A for Añejo, and S for still strength.
Yeah. And
So that lot number, it's a bit clear. So that means those barrels were maybe a bit older, and it didn't give off that much flavor or that much of the color to the juice. We have other reposados that are a lot darker, but that's the fun part, to be able to take those different lot numbers and try them next to each other and see what the difference is between those lot numbers.
See, so this is the difference between a smaller distillery craft kind of tequila, right, versus your big players, your Cuervos and things like that, is that you can buy a different lot number and a different Reposado bottle, and it could be a different flavor, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That isn't...
Yep, and that is why our lot number is very important. Other big brands, they would add some caramel into it to change the coloring. They would add some glycerine for the flavor and so on. We don't do anything of that. When it comes out of the barrel, we bottle it. We don't add any additives to it. By law, you can add up to 1% of additives of each into a bottle. But it's humongous. Like aspartame, for example, you can add that. But aspartame is 200 times more potent than normal glucose sugar. So imagine if you put 1% in a bottle of aspartame, how much sugar that actually is for your bottle.
Yeah.
So that's where the difference lies.
Wow.
So you saw that Stefano, he showed you a little bit of a label that was on the barrel. Those are from the CRT, which is basically, the CRT makes up all the rules about tequila. And that label makes sure that we cannot add anything into that barrel. They have come and said, okay, that's one barrel, said one barrica, one barrel that you filled up. We're going to seal it off so you cannot take stuff out or add stuff into it. We cannot cheat. When it's in the barrel, it stays in the barrel until, this is 51 barrels, for example. 51 barrels that were filled simultaneously, and the CRT came, they sealed them all off, and they said, okay, the moment you want to empty them, let us know. They'll come down, and they will check all those barrels to see if that seal is still intact, and they will count down the liters if it's an acceptable ratio in what has been barreled so far.
What happened?
This one is empty. That's why no, it's empty. So that's why it's okay. So in that way, there's a lot of strict rules in tequila, and there's still some gray areas in tequila as well. But in general, tequila is one of the most controlled liquors in the world.
It's a pure...
Let's put it that way.
When you get this, that's what I love about this, is that you get this, you know what you're tasting. This is pure. This is straight craft, unbelievable tasting tequila that you can see.
No, you didn't change my whole perspective about drinking tequila. You can't drink that cheap stuff, man. You gotta get nice crafted stuff.
Hi everybody, how you doing? I'm Johann. That over there is Charleston. We just wanted to talk to you. I was really quick there. I was like, hey, we wanted to talk to you.
Come on.
I'm talking Spanish. We wanted to talk to you about one thing that's very important to us, breast cancer awareness. In October here, we are going to be selling our shirts. We're doing a pre-order, selling our shirts. And Charleston, tell everybody a little bit more about what's going on.
Yeah, I don't wear pink very often, but I guess I'll wear it for the month of October. But it is breast cancer awareness. We designed these shirts specifically for breast cancer. We're going to be pretty much doing just that much, raising money, raising funds for the Aura League Cancer Foundation. Every shirt that we sell, portion of that money will go straight to Aura League Cancer. So support us. If you're a fan of us, you're a fan of supporting for the right cause and doing things for the right way. So
reach out.
I look forward to getting into it.
Yeah, reach out to us on our Facebook page, on our Twitter, on our Instagram. Reach out to us directly. We'll give you the costs, the shipping information. We'll get you all those details. These great shirts are made right here in Regina, Saskatchewan at Queen City Sports. Thanks, Tony and Greg. So reach out to us and let's help kill cancer. You know what they say, fuck cancer. So here you go. Here's a good way to support it.
Support.
There you go. From Better with Age. All right.
Hi, my name is Rob Peterson. I'm the broker owner of Realty One in Regina. Real estate and life is about great people, and that's why I'm associated with Charleston Hughes and Johann Lozinski and IKS to sponsor the Better with Age podcast. Realty One was founded in Regina 11 years ago. It's an independent brokerage, it's local, and it's full of great people helping great local Regina people buy and sell properties. It's entrepreneurial based, which means you have non-narcissistic agents that have your best interest in mind, not their own. In these coronavirus times, real estate market right now in Regina and Saskatchewan is thriving because people are thinking more local. They're not thinking about traveling because we can't, and that's driving our market. When you hire a realtor, no matter who it is, no matter what company, please interview them. Please make sure they're a good personal fit for you, because that's what this is all about. It's good people connecting themselves with someone that they know has their best interest in mind. And that's what the Realty One family does, and that's what a lot of agents in Regina do. But make sure you take your time and find the best fit for you and your family.
It's that time of year when divisions are decided, champions are crowned, and legends are born. Now, it's your turn to win big. You've heard the name just about everywhere, MyBookie. They're the industry's leading online sportsbook and casino, and it's not hard to understand why. With thousands of lines to bet on all your favorite sports, NFL, NBA, and college ball. Check, check, and check. MMA and soccer, they've got all the latest odds, period. Take advantage of MyBookie's prop builder and live in-game betting, where every single run, throw, and touchdown is another chance for you to put cash in your pocket. Visit their mobile-friendly website today and get your deposit matched halfway up to $1,000. Just use the promo code when you make your first deposit. The best part is they make it simple, with a variety of ways to deposit instantly, including credit card, bank transfer, Bitcoin, and more. Whether you're at home or on the go, on your laptop or on your phone, it's not too late to make your New Year's resolution a resolution to get paid. Bet, win, and get paid at MyBookie.
This is one of our friends,
yeah.
Pancho. If you ever come to Guadalajara, let us know. And Pancho is the guy who can take you around to all the different distilleries because he knows a lot of people and he has contacts everywhere.
I'm coming to Tequila, I think, hopefully when it's really cold here, Kobe, because I don't know if you know how cold it gets here in Canada. It gets to about minus 40.
I don't think I want to know.
Minus 40, minus 40 to 50 in the winter. I'm coming, when it's cold like that, I'm coming to Puerto Vallarta, and then I'm going to take the bus over to Tequila one of these winters.
Definitely.
So
you're welcome.
And he is not going without me. Better believe that.
We're going together. There's everybody. Hi, how are you doing? Hi from Canada.
So this is a tour that is going on right now. This is Eunice. She's one of our guides. So we are now in the bottling facility. Hi, everybody. So the bottling facility is literally this big. That's it. So first thing we do is we have our bottles, and they are rinsed with tequila. So we don't rinse with water. We don't want any water touching our bottles. Push that little pedal down there, and then it sprouts up, and we rinse the bottles. You'll see how it goes right there. It's pretty straightforward, but still kind of fun to see. That's all tequila. So there's tequila in that machine. When we bottle Reposado, there will be Reposado in that machine. When we bottle Anejo, there will be Anejo in that machine.
Wow.
So we make sure that is done.
Oh, wow.
Bottles are done. They're clean. And then they go into our state-of-the-art, hyper-modern filling station. It was state-of-the-art in 1938 because we got it out of our museum. This is our filling station. So 6 sprouts, all the bottles all around the world have gone through this machine. Wow. It's Swiss, so it still works. I mean, you know what they do with watches, so if they can make something like this too. There's no laser eyes to it. There's no control to it. It's human control. They know when to take that bottle out, put another bottle straight up, and this is basically filling our bottles.
That's fantastic. I love supporting how many people that work there. Look at that.
And as you can see, there's a little silk print on every bottle. It says Tequila Los Abuelos. Now, we are talking about Tequila Fortaleza. So what is Tequila Los Abuelos? Now, it's very simple. When Guillermo, my boss, Guillermo Erickson Sousa, started this brand, he named it Tequila Los Abuelos. And when we got into the United States, we were sued by a rum brand called Ron Abuelo. And we had to change the name after a lawsuit that cost us way too much money. We had to change the name. And the distillery is called La Fortaleza. So we changed it into Fortaleza. But we won in Mexico. So in Mexico, you can find Los Abuelos and Fortaleza next to each other.
Okay.
But my boss
wow.
is not someone to just roll over and die. So he said, let's put Tequila Los Abuelos on every bottle still. And we put the label on top of that.
Nice.
So if you peel off the label of a bottle, you will still see Tequila Los Abuelos in there.
I look forward to
So you saw that we wet the stoppers, we put them in the bottle, make sure that they're nice and tight, hammer them in, and this is our quality control. So you hold the bottle in front of the light. There's no impurities, see, the ones that she takes a stopper out, that means there's an impurity. So we will put that in a bucket, we will filter that, and we will bottle it again. But this is basically quality control. If there's a piece of glass, a mosquito, a hair, whatever, it's taken on to the side. And here they are ready to put the label on. All this amazing juice. I'm getting thirsty. So we're going to put the label on. So there's a front label, there's two back labels, and there's a neck label. And they get into the boxes, and they're ready to be shipped to, amongst others, Canada.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Can't wait.
Adios, amigos.
Yay.
And how many days a week do you guys work there at the distillery?
6 days.
6 days.
So on Sunday, we're closed.
Okay.
There's a good chance that with the way that it's going, that we have to open the 7 day as well, or at least produce the 7 day. But so far, we're not there yet. It's hard to make people work on a Sunday as well.
Yeah.
Especially in these small towns. So you saw the stopper, and you have the stopper with you, and those are actually a bit special. So we're going to see how the stoppers are made in-house right here. So this is kind of special to see this. So we start with a mold, and we put in a resin. The resin hardens in about 3 to 5 minutes. You can see right here. So that's the mold. It's a bit squishy, a bit rubbery. Put in the resin. And what we take out is basically a basic piña. No colors to it, nothing like that. So here you go. Pops out. That's a piña. Right? Now, a lot of people think that we paint all those lines on there, but even for us, that would be too tedious. You can see Rosa right here. She's painting the whole agave with a brush. And gloves, obviously, because you don't want to go home with green fingers every day. So painting the whole agave like this. And then when it's dried up, we take it to a big sander. Like this one. And there we go. I think it's Philly that is right there. So now, for some reason, these people wear a lot of Band-Aid on their fingers, but you will see what is being done with this. Gotta explain it first. There we go. So you have a sander. First, we take the top off. Make sure that that's nice and soft. And then, so you got to be a master in this, because if you go a little bit to the side, your fingers are being taken off, basically. So this is done by hand. Every single stopper is done by hand like this. You can see that he's very skilled in doing this.
Oh, yeah.
And how many of these does he do a day?
I was about to say, man, that's probably a lot.
Holy shit.
There's a few cases right there.
Oh,
I think their goal is about 8,000 a week.
8,000 a week.
Yeah.
So if everybody ever complains about their job, watch this video and then we'll show them this gentleman.
Yeah.
Gracias, amigo.
Come
Good job.
and work for us
Gracias.
right now. See what happens.
Holy.
So now that this is done, we put it here on this table. We put some varnish on it. and we let it dry for 24 hours. You can see that this table has been used a lot. The varnish has built up where the agaves are not. And when that is done, then it goes to the next room and we put on the cork. And I guess Stefano is going to go to right there. If his internet doesn't crap out. But there we go. So cork, a bit of glue, put on the cork, let it dry for 24 hours. But then we're not finished yet because there's some, you need to take away the residue glue from it, which is also pretty tedious. You see there's residue glue on the side right there?
Yeah.
They take that away with a knife. Like this, one by one.
Holy cow. See, she's smart. She's got some tape around her fingers.
Yeah.
But look at her forearm.
Those knives are sharp. Yeah.
Look at her forearms, how strong they are, and just the handwork.
You're stronger than me.
Yeah. Charleston's got smaller forearms than her.
So imagine doing this all day, every day.
6
so
days.
this is their work.
Man.
Yeah.
As you said, don't complain about your own job.
Yeah.
Come work for us.
No way.
You'll do Mexican CrossFit. You'll be doing this.
Very, very.
Yeah, I got some fitness going on in there, Blunt. People got to be in shape.
So that is the whole tour of the distillery.
That's actually pretty awesome, though, if you really think about it, about all the time and the care that you're putting into, making the corks, to rinsing out the inside of the bottle with tequila so you don't throw the flavor off. Like all the different stuff that y'all put into it. It's a lot of love put into this tequila.
Yeah, it's not a cheap brand. Let's be honest. It's not the most expensive brand either. My boss likes to say, if you pay more for your tequila than you do for ours, you've been ripped off. But now you can see with all that labor where it goes, why the brand is not a $20 bottle. It's a $50, $60 bottle. And you can see why. These people work very hard, and they are the real heroes. I'm just fortunate enough I can talk about it. That's the whole point. These are the guys making the tequila, making the bottle, making what you have in your hand. And I get to travel around and talk about it and make sure that people drink enough about it.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so is that it? Oh, look at that little chasing them out. Is that the
yeah, we got some animals on this as well. So it's 29 hectares of land here. We got a lake, we got a few horses, we got a few goats, chickens, hens, and so on. It's a really nice property. Also, if you come down where Stefano's heading right now, we have a little kiosk that says Sandy's Fish Tacos. Sandy was one of Guillermo's dogs that passed away a few years ago. So we have food, we have drinks, we have everything you need, and we have tequila, obviously. So definitely come down, and we'll give you a tour that is going to be this and a bit more.
That is fantastic.
So you see some
awesome,
small agaves that are in pots right there, ready to be planted soon in the fields.
Those are the small ones?
So,
those are smaller ones, yeah.
Yeah, so you pre-plant them in pots and grow them for how long before you plant them into the ground?
About a year. The pots are nice because the pots take more of the heat of the sun. So actually the plant grows a bit faster in the pots. And then when they're about this size, they get planted in the soil.
There's the fish tacos.
That's good. Sandy's Fish Tacos. So we're starting to build this up. There's Melba in the kitchen right there. We're starting to build this up. We're soon going to have coffee and so on, so people can spend the whole day here if they want.
Oh wow!
Taking care of everything.
Now you're making me hungry. Do you have tacos al pastor?
No, we do fish tacos. So
just
Baja
fish
style fish tacos.
Okay.
This is where I am right there.
Nice.
So that's we have the original Golden Gate Bridge I mean, you got to start small before you go big. So this is no, it's not. It's not the original, but it's kind of nice to see. It's got lights all over it, so at night it's really nice to see that as well.
And there you are.
It is a setup for the tour that has been going on right there. The people that you saw, so they can have their tasting. Those are the 4 bottles that are in our line. So a normal Blanco, a still strength, a Reposado, and an Anejo.
Well, there's
this is the still strength, so straight out of the still.
That's
right there.
That's the 46%, Charleston. That's the one we got to get to Canada. Look at the dogs on there,
and
too.
You can see that Sandy is on there. So Sandy has fish tacos, she has tequila, she has everything. So she's a famous dog for us.
And what's the other dog's name?
Choco.
Choco.
Choco was before Sandy, so he passed away before Sandy even.
My dog's name is Chica. I have a black lab. My wife and I have a black lab, and it's called Chica.
See? Everything Spanish sounds better.
Yeah.
So you got the lake, you got a little
right there next to
bodega.
the water. How long those been in the ground? Those are huge compared to the rest.
Those are the oldest one on the property. Those will probably not be used for tequila, or maybe in a few months they would be. But those have a special meaning because a good friend of ours, when he passed away, they put when he passed away, they put his ashes in the ground and they planted an agave on top of it. And those agaves, those big ones, those are the sons of that agave. So it keeps on spreading. So when we make a tequila from that, it's going to be the King Henry tequila because Henry Besant is the person that passed away.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, wow. So what would be the age range of those 2 agave plants?
Those 2, they're probably 7, 8, 9, 8 years, I think.
Oh, wow.
So,
and then what's the significance of the lake behind you? That's just a lake that you guys have
so
on the
the
property?
lake has actually been it's been built by Guillermo's grandfather. So this property has been in his family for a while, since the 50s. It's been built by Guillermo's grandfather because just behind us is the volcano. And when it rains, the raining season here is brutal. It rains a lot. And all that water used to flood the town on a daily basis. And now with that lake, we actually have like a buffer for the town. So he built that to protect the town a bit more of water coming through the town. So that's basically why the lake is there. And they put an island in there. The island is called Isla de la Amistad, so the island of friendship. We've had some weddings on there. We had some parties on there because we don't have a cool job. We never have fun here. So we need to have fun, right?
Yeah. Sounds like Guillermo. Sorry, the owner's name is Guillermo? Guillermo?
Yeah. Guillermo Erickson Sousa.
So can you tell us?
So we can talk a bit about his.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think Stefano is gonna cut out his video after he had a drink, probably.
Oh, he's making me envious and jealous.
Just rub it in, huh?
Yeah. Thanks, Stefano, for everything. Thank you for your tour.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
I hope I'll bring you some Canadian beer or Canadian whiskey to tequila one of these days, and I'll switch you. I'll trade you.
Perfect.
Enjoy. Cheers. Salud.
So hi. Guillermo. His full name is Guillermo Erickson Sousa, and his family. So his great grandfather was the guy who started Tequila Sousa. Tequila Sousa is probably well known in Canada as well.
Yep.
So he started Tequila Sousa in 1873, and it went on generation to generation until Guillermo's grandfather, and he sold it in 1976. So Sousa is now part of Beam Suntory. And when he sold it, there was one small distillery, the distillery that we're actually making tequila in right now, that was not included in the sales because at that time it was turned into a museum. They realized that this distillery was not as efficient as the rest of the distilleries in the whole Sousa brand. So they shut it down, turned it into a museum to showcase to people what old school making tequila was. And in 1999, Guillermo decided, I want to make tequila again. I want to follow in my grandfather's footsteps. And he started refurbishing that distillery, making it work again, having it go again, and put a lot of money in it. It took him a while to go break even, but we're there. We're doing pretty good. We're in 29 countries, 37 states in the U.S. So we're actually at the cusp right now that we need to make sure we have enough tequila for everybody. So we're working hard here in this distillery to make sure that everybody is stocked up.
And I can give you the Canadian update. You are in 4 provinces here in Canada. You are in, actually, I should correct myself. You're
Alberta.
in three provinces: Alberta, British Columbia, and Saskatchewan. We're now in Saskatchewan at the Metro liquor stores here, where you can get the Reposado and the Blanco. So that's very. I'm so excited about that, and soon to be in Ontario, Charleston.
Ontario, we gotta get it out here.
It's
Toronto
coming.
people love tequila.
It's coming, Chuck. I'll let you know. You'll be the first one to know once Fortaleza gets to Ontario. I'll be sending you messages.
Talk to the liquor board.
Yeah, they're not so. They're a little bit difficult to deal with at times in Ontario. So, Kobe, anything else you can tell us about Fortaleza?
I don't know. What do you guys want to know? I talked a bit about the history. I talked about the process. So we're 100% agave, obviously, no additives added. Old school way of making it, and that's
If you could describe the flavor of this tequila to me, how would you describe it?
Man, you got to drink it, man. It will change your life. Let me tell you right now. If you drink it, it will change your life.
You know, that's a good point. I want to ask you, Kobe, about that, because everybody asks, okay, well, in Canada, they go, well, what's the difference between Jose Cuervo, $20 a bottle, $25 a bottle, versus Fortaleza, which is going to be a lot more than $20. Not a lot more. It depends on which markets you're at in Canada. So once people ask that, what do you say to them?
So you got to understand, Cuervo is the biggest tequila brand in the world. And when you're at that point, you have to, at some point, cut corners to be able to make enough and to make it cheap enough. Cuervo came up in the 80s, like becoming really big in the 80s. And in the 80s, what else came up? It was Smirnoff, Bacardi, stuff like that. They were made very industrial for as cheap as you could find. And that is what people wanted. They wanted something that they could drink and that was cheap enough. In the 90s, the 2000s, that whole get up changed a bit. People had internet. They could research their stuff. People wanted to get more authentic in what they were drinking. People wanted to have a story behind it. And Cuervo still does have that story. They're the oldest tequila brand in the world. But the way that they've evolved their juice is different. They made it very industrial right now. A diffuser, for example, is a big machine that is about a football field long. And they put raw agaves in there. The agaves get crushed first, and then the juice that comes out, they will cook that juice. So they reverse the process. They don't cook the agaves first and then crush the agaves. They crush it first and cook the juice. This is done with some chemicals as well. So they have cut corners and made sure that their juice was at a certain price so they could sell more. And that is a choice that you make. I mean, you got to respect the way that they're represented all over the world, and everybody knows Jose Cuervo. You got to respect that. Compared to them, we're not even a tiny fish; we're a micro. So it's a way of doing business. I'm sure the people who own Cuervo, they're very happy with what's happening and the money that is getting onto their bank account. For customers, people who drink tequila, who like tequila, it is normal that you started with a tequila like that, but at some point you will evolve into something that is a bit more traditional, a bit more flavor, and once you put them next to each other, you will see the difference.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I would love to be able to challenge anybody out there who's had tequila to try. sit down, buy your Jose Cuervo, then buy this Fortaleza. Have a sip of each, then you'll know exactly what we're talking about when he talks about quality. And that's one of the things I love about tequila is that, especially this, it's just like anybody that says, if you want quality, you're going to spend more. And I think that's exactly when it comes down to tequila and tequila like this.
Right.
You see what all the efforts that everybody put into this tequila and into this bottle. You've seen it now on this tour, so that is fantastic. Charleston, anything else you want to be able to add before I got one more question for Kobe, but anything else you want to ask, Charleston?
Oh man, I'm a fan. After seeing all the hard work, love, and effort that's put into that bottle, man, I want to try it right now. I'm going to the Blue Jays game to go watch the Yankees get beat up on and lose.
Easy now,
and I would love to have a tequila while I'm watching them lose.
Well, go try, even though it's not Fortaleza, go try a more expensive bottle of tequila. Try one of the brands. They'll probably have, I'm not sure what, Diageo probably they'll have maybe the 1800 or they might have a little higher end tequila, Cuervo on there. Go try it. I actually had it a few weeks ago, Charleston, in Toronto when I was there. Me and my buddy Larson, we had a few tequila and sodas. We had a few too many. We almost missed the flight. But go and try it, Charleston, and do that. Kobe, before you go, I want to ask you one question. What's your favorite drink with tequila? What's your favorite type of Fortaleza, and how do you drink it?
In general, I drink mine pure. Just no ice, room temperature, so on. But if you want a cocktail, there's two cocktails that are really up my alley. One is a Tommy's Margarita. There's a famous bar in San Francisco. It's called Tommy's. And they created the Tommy's Margarita there, which is just like a normal margarita, but instead of Cointreau or orange liquor, you actually put agave syrup. So it's 4 parts of tequila, preferably reposado, 2 parts of lime juice, fresh lime juice, and 1 part of agave syrup. You shake it. You can drink that all night long. You'll be fine. I mean, you'll probably be drunk, but you'll be fine. And then I'm a sucker for stirred drinks. So I like a Negroni, for example. But if I can drink a Negroni with the still strength of us instead of gin, that is something that is amazing. So those are 2 that I would definitely recommend. Next to drinking it pure, room temperature. Don't put your bottle in the fridge. If you freeze your tequila, you will numb a lot of the flavors. So please don't do that. Room temperature is just fine. If you want to chill it a bit, 1 ice cube you can do. Just make sure you drink it fast enough so your ice cube is still there when you're done. And I still want to say something. There's an app that anybody that likes tequila that would love to learn a bit more and see what is out there. There's an app that is called Tequila Matchmaker. I can definitely recommend it. It's not a dating app, don't worry. Your wife will not kill you for it. It's called Tequila Matchmaker because it will match the tequilas that you like with yourself. So you can rate different tequilas on there. You can look up the rating of different tequilas. You can see how it's made and so on. It's a very deep going app, so definitely worth downloading and seeing what you can do with it.
That is fantastic. I am so thirsty.
That's awesome.
I'm going to
try
that.
I get on that.
Yeah, the Tommy's Margarita. I'm going to try that tonight, and I'm going to send a picture to you, and then we'll put it on Twitter. And anything else?
Perfect.
Where else can we find out some information about Fortaleza on social media and on the interweb?
Well, we have our website, tequilafortaleza.com. There's some stuff there, and there's always. If you have any questions that are not featured on the website, we're actually in the process of rebuilding our website, which in Mexican time, it will probably take a bit, but we're in the process of it. And if anything more of questions come up that you cannot find on the website, there's a contact form on the website. So send us an email. Don't worry about it. We'll always get back to you. And Charleston, you now have a direct line. So if you're in the liquor store next time, snap a picture. I'll tell you what to buy. Don't worry about it.
100%.
There you go.
That's awesome, man.
There you go. Kobe, Thank you very much. Before you go, I should also say that anybody looking to buy this in Canada, go to sovereigncanada.com. They'll give you the information you'll be able to find there about what province the Fortaleza is in, and how to be able to ask any questions about buying these bottles here in Canada, because they are here, folks, and go out and buy it. I promise you, it'll be one purchase you will not regret. It's fantastic. So
there are actually 2 pallets on the boat right now as we speak. So
even better. I like
getting more in.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go. Well,
Crossing the border.
there we go. We're excited. Thank you very much, Kobe. We're going to be promoting your product.
Thank you so much for having me.
It is fantastic. You have made me thirsty. You made me, and hopefully all our friends and families and all our followers here more knowledgeable about tequila. I am excited. Charleston, how are you feeling about tequila?
Thank you.
Man, I feel good. I've always been a fan of tequila, man. Tequila for me is how you get the party started. Everybody's sitting around, nobody's doing nothing. Then I'll just pour shots of tequila, and then that'll get everybody going.
That's
how I end the party as well.
It's a good starter or finisher. So, Kobe, once again, thank you very much for all your time. Wish you all the best in the town of Tequila. We are coming. Not only me, Charleston and I are coming. Whenever it's cold here, we're going to be flying south, so you'll see us again. But
definitely.
But Charleston always finishes off the show with our friends, so I'm going to turn it over to Charleston to close out the show.
No, that's awesome, man. Thanks for giving us that tour. I know the fans, our watchers, viewers all over Canada and the States, they're going to really appreciate, really watching this and being educated on tequila and not thinking tequila is a bad thing when you order it at the bar and somebody goes, ugh. But no, it is good. But we're going to make sure we send you out a T-shirt too. We're now redesigned our brand when it comes to our T-shirts. So we'll have these Better With Age shirts that we'll send your way, especially for you and some of the other staff members that are there. We'll be promoting them all over our website for breast cancer awareness. So that's one awesome thing that we got coming up pretty soon. And just want to say thank you for coming on the show, man. This is the Better With Age webcast. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much. I'll see you in Tequila.
There you go. Cheers. Adios, amigo.